guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're playing game of Minesweeper. Well, in this case, Beesweeper. So the goal of Minesweeper or Beesweeper is basically you should clear the board such that you're only leaving the bombs behind, right? In this case, they already show you how many bombs there are. So here it's 8. Okay, so Minesweeper is a game of both logic and luck. Logic because I'll tell you along the way. Luck because sometimes when you tap the empty space, it's gonna give you the biggest hint or you fuck up immediately. Okay, so how do we play Minesweeper? So for me, I would suggest you start with the center rather than the corner because that's where you most likely get the bombs at the corner. Okay, so let's start at the center. Okay, for here, if you're the type of person who doesn't really want the answers immediately and you want to solve it by yourself, I would suggest to take screenshots. If example you're on a 50-50 that you think it's a bomb, I would suggest you take screenshots so that you don't tap the same tile twice in case that you tap on a bomb. Okay, so for example, I already took the screenshot, okay, because I know I'm most likely gonna fuck up. So let's study lol. Okay, so what does this number mean? The number means how many bombs are near that tile, adjacent to the tile. So according to Davis, there are 8 spots, right? Because there are 8 surrounding at most. Okay, and then the number here indicates how many bombs it is adjacent. So for example, this one means there's 1 bomb nearby. But since it's already open, you're left with this one. Okay, so we're kind of sure that this one is the bomb. Okay, same with this one because your surrounding is this tile, means it's also this one. Okay, so we're kind of confident, right? What happens if it's number 2, right? So you're left with in this case you're only left with this tile, right? So that means this one is a bomb. Okay, what about 3? Okay, 3 means that there are 3 bombs nearby. Okay, which is this one, right? But we already identified 2. Okay, so where could the third one be? Which it's either one of these tile, right? Next, we look at the next number, which is 1. It's most likely this, or this, right? Since we have 2 common tiles here, it is quite safe to assume that this one is a safe tile. Okay, later let's test out that theory. Okay, that means the bomb is most likely here or here. Let's mark it here or here. Okay, since we have also 1 here, it's like we're extending more, right? So the bomb is most likely here, here, and here. Since we have 1 common tile here because of these 2 numbers, then it's kind of safe to say that this is most likely the bomb. And these 2 tiles are safe. Okay? Because we already identified 3 bombs from here, here, and here. Okay? So let's test out that theory. Okay? So since I'm quite confident that this is the bomb, let's mark a seal. Okay? So that you don't accidentally tap them. Next, we assume that the one below the 1 is most likely the bomb. So let's tap the ones beside it. Safe. Okay, since this one shows 1, which means this one is a bomb, right? Okay, actually when you tap the number, it already shows you which one, which tile is adjacent to it, right? So since this one's number 2, this is most likely a bomb, this one's most likely a bomb, or this one at the bottom, right? If you tap here, you see, okay? 1 is pointing to here or here, right? So you have 1 out of 2 chances, okay? This one also points here or here. Since this, and this have common tiles, which means this one is most likely the bomb. And you also have number 3, right? Which means there are 3 bombs. This one, and this one, okay? So since we identified the 3 here for the 3 bombs, which means this is most likely safe, this is most likely safe, and this is most likely safe. As you can see, 1, 1, 1, 1, which means that beside these ones, there's a bomb. All of them points to this tile, okay? Which means this is most likely a bomb, okay? And this is not a bomb. This is also not a bomb. Okay? Now, since you have another similar case that all of this one is pointing to a common tile, which means this is most likely the bomb. Okay? And this is not a bomb. This is also not a bomb because this one is pointing to this one. Okay? And this is most likely a bomb because this 2 points to this one and this one. And this 2 also points to this one and this one. Then this one is pointing down to this corner. Okay? Let's look at the other side. Again, since you have surrounding like this one, and this one, since you have common tiles, most likely this is a bomb. Okay? Since you have identified this one, that means this one does not point to this one. It points to this one only. Right? Okay. Actually, for example, you tap this number 1, right? It shows you which one's most likely the bomb. Yeah, there's a blinking one. So that means this is most likely the bomb because it shares squares, okay? And since we identified these 2, means that this is not a bomb. Yeah, okay? Now, this number 2 is most likely pointing to this one or this one. And since these 3 are surrounding this tile, which means this is most likely a bomb, okay? Safe, safe, and safe. Easy, okay? So yeah, more or less that's how you solve Minesweeper, okay? Of course, if you're lazy, you can always check my Hoyo Lab for the answers that I update whenever I finish it, okay? So yeah, that's it, and yeah, hope this video helps you on how to solve the Minesweeper. So yeah, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!